the thing that's so frightening about Syria and what we've been talking about for like 2 years now is that the sectarian violence is, I think, unique. You know, a lot of comparisons have been made between Syria and Bosnia. President Clinton advanced that comparison. I would suggest we look at Rwanda, but much worse. And the difference is that with Rwanda, when the violence was stopped, no one was worried that the Hutus and the Tutsis were going to continue their marauding around Africa and into maybe Europe. But the problem with this is when Assad is deposed and there's someone else in power, these are the groups that can continue to spread jihadi messages, radical extreme messages, and no one seems to be concerned with that growing circle.
Well, we need to have a calculus of what the future is. So far, we know that the radicalization of these populations, these groups, is coming from Assad. You cannot defeat Al-Qaeda or the Brotherhood in Syria without first defeating Assad. This has been a calculus that they've used to legitimize his presence. And by the way, who's helping the opposition? Saudi Arabia and Qatar. When you have over 95% of those who are displaced and killed being Sunni Muslims, it's very easy for them to say that this is a Sunni jihad that needs to happen. While if the West got more involved, we could then say, you know what, we're coming in to bring liberty, to help those who believe in freedom. Syria could have been a more diverse community, a more diverse nation, to build upon sort of that crossroads in the Middle East, which now is being lost to just sectarian chaos.
Yeah.
Sarah, I know you're in contact with some of those elements of the resistance, the anti-Assad forces that don't want to fly the black banners of jihad over Damascus, that don't believe that is the way forward. But from what you're hearing, and you are talking to people that know, can they defeat the jihadists in their midst? I've never suggested that all these guys are jihadists. I know Assad wants people to believe that, but if there's only 10% of them as jihadists, if they can control half of the fight or 75% of the fighters in time, then it won't really matter. Do you think these guys can stand up to them? That's the key question.
You know, and that's a question that I really can't answer. And I asked that question today to a commander in Homs. And as I was speaking to him, there were bombs going off in the background. And look, one of the issues that Dr. Jasser brought up is very true. Prior to last year, we did not see these elements in Syria. There was a vacuum created in Syria, and that vacuum allowed Al-Qaeda to take advantage of a situation and allowed Assad to take advantage of a situation that is now out of our control. What we're seeing in Syria is Assad playing to the public, saying, look, we have Al-Qaeda here. You want to support Al-Qaeda? You want to give them weapons? Look at what they're doing. They're killing priests in your street. And sure, they are. But there are elements in Syria that are fighting the Assad regime that are saying, look, you don't understand what's happening inside Syria. And we have Iran, we have Hezbollah here. And this is a power play for the Middle East, and it's spilling across its borders.